Welcome to the Bases Loaded. I'm Lucas, and you probably won't be seeing anybody else for a while, because this is all me. So, this is Sonic 3D Blast, a not that popular game from the Genesis and Saturn. I'm a little bit more fond of the Genesis one because of the music, even though it's not necessarily as high quality, but there you have it. The graphics are kind of interesting. For what the Genesis was, a 16-bit console, pretty impressive, but there you have it. So, yeah, we have our little story to the game, kind of a first for the Sonic series at that time. Flickies, mysterious birds living in another dimension and able to travel anywhere through large rings. So, I guess Sonic's doing some dimensional travel at this point. Robotnik learns about the Flickies back when he had that cool, Russian-sounding name when we had good, Russophobia. I mean, the Cold War was technically over by this point, but, still had that good, fear them commies. We missed out on that wonderful, wonderful dialogue there. Sonic visits Flicky Island to see his friends, but the only thing he finds are robots! Oh no! So, they live in another dimension, or don't. Sonic travels between dimensions. Whatever. Robotnik made my friends like this. I must save them. Robotnik must be stopped. Like, couldn't it be? I gotta save them. Robotnik's gotta be stopped. Just a little bit better on that dialogue there. Then here we get, it's almost English. Go Sonic! You can warp through the big rings with the help of the Flickies, chase after Robotnik and defeat his plans. For great justice. So that's what we're working with here. That's what we've got. Green Grove. You'll notice in this game the zones are all alliterative. Because reasons. So, yeah, we've got the isometric perspective. Hey, there's Sonic, you can get a look at him. Can't quite see his taint, so sorry to, those Sonic Dreams fans out there. But we don't get that aspect of it. But yeah, game is not as fast-paced as some of the other Sonic games. But it's fun. It's one of the easier Sonic games out there. It was the first one that I ever beat from start to finish, 100% completion, all Chaos Emeralds. And you'll see why pretty soon. But it's still fun. I think it's overlooked for, I don't know, silly, arbitrary reasons. No special move normally, but this shield does get a little bit of a homing kind of shoot-down thing. You notice we were here just a minute ago? Now Knuckles has appeared. He's, putting his dukes up, kind of bopping around there. These are your special stages. He takes your rings, and here you go. Back when this was new, this was kind of impressive looking. Also, you get to take a breather if you want. Sonic's just kind of hanging out there. Reminiscent of the Sonic 2 special stages, but much easier, because you're basically working on a flat plane still. They did some cool stuff here. So, Super Nintendo, you can suck it with your Mode 7, because Genesis do what Nintendo do as well. This was a late release for the system, but they figured out how to do some cool stuff as well. But yeah, this is such an easy Emerald stage. I wouldn't be too surprised if this first one you could actually kind of do without even looking. It's kind of a throwaway. In all likelihood, I will be out of the first zone with 4 Chaos Emeralds, because you can get 2 per act. Whether or not I can get them consistently beyond there, It's a little bit more hit or miss, but second zone, I should be getting at least 1 per act. So that'll put me at a count of 6. And I'll be in good shape. So I am expecting to get all Chaos Emeralds in this run. This game throws continues at you like a thing that throws lots of things at you. There's another one. Can't quite reach it. So I can show off this interesting thing. Also, your birds pick up little shields when you do, which is kind of a neat little thing. So yeah, couldn't get it that first time. When I had the bird with me, I could. So the hard-to-reach things on top of the springs, the birds can pick up for you. Those hard-to-reach things, by the way, always continues. So there you go. And if I could get those rings, that'd be very nice. Yeah. And that just about does it for this first area of the act. It's been a while since I played this game. I mean, you know, full disclosure, I did, you know, my test footage a little bit and did kind of play through the act, so I'm a little bit more familiar here. So that's essentially your checkpoint. You get more of a bonus if you have all of your birds there at once rather than just one. But of course, the risk you run is that if you get hit, you also lose your birds. So you have to go collect them. They do have different behaviors, interestingly enough. Depending on what's going on, when you lose them, you have to do different things to find them. Some of them go back to where they were originally. There's Tails. Some of them will stay about the same place. Some of them seem to go to the lowest point they can find. It's kind of obnoxious. So Tails is also a special stage. He's got these fluffy tails. He's a little bit tired. He's yawning. He should probably take a nap. He's tired of just waiting here for Sonic. And there we've banked our rings, kinda. The Tails stages are a little bit harder than the Knuckles ones, which means pretty much nothing here, because the Knuckles ones are so ridiculously easy. You may have just heard, and now I have to eat my words because I just ran into something. So you may have just heard, you know, the sound of professionalism because I did not mute my phone. That's good, but hey, you know, first run and all that. But, yeah, there you go. So, even getting hit, it's still no big deal. I have enough to win. I could get hit a couple of times and still be fine here. So, there we are. Our second Chaos Emerald, and we're not even out of the first act. Unless there's some major secret I'm not aware of, I cannot get any more Chaos Emeralds in this act. I can go up to Tails and give him more rings. They get banked there. I get some kind of bonus for the rings I give to him, I think. Whatever. The other thing, after you go to these guys, pretty much every collectible item in the stage respawns, so you can get a lot of stuff again. I could waste a lot of time doing this. I'm only going to waste a little bit of time doing this, mostly because I want a shield back. You do have, by the way, that, you know, when you're on your feet, you can hit the button and get rolling again. But this game, you don't use those moves very much. It's hard to control in this kind of format. So, not needed very often, not the most useful thing. Mostly breaking through walls. Sometimes getting up a steep slope. There's a couple of real fun places for that in a little bit. Next zone, I believe. As is the case in a lot of Sonic games, speed shoes, not the most fun. The risk of going fast means harder to control, more likely to run into things and take damage. So, is that something you're willing to do? Not me, I'm not a speedrunner. Alright. And nearly to another extra life, so things are going pretty well. If I keep that up, of course, that's the thing of games. I won't need that, but... Oh yeah, have invincibility. There is some stuff later on in the game that does get kind of challenging. Boop. There we go, and there we go. It's kind of the most ideal direction to go when going through this level, just because of the format of this. I should not have hit the button. Let's try that again. So, but yeah, these levels are a bit more open, obviously, than in the older games, because you do get a broader range of movement. It's a neat twist on the way things went. So I've got all my my little flickin' birds. A couple more rings there, and that's it for this level. There might be a little bit other stuff, another secret, but that's about it. That last one where it has the X, once you hand in your birds, that's it. You've beat the level. So that's it. Act 1, time taken. You may have noticed there was no timer. It does keep track. But if you take more than 10 minutes, that's fine. It just says too long, and that's it. No bonus. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it there for the episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this. As everybody says on this fabulous YouTube's, like, comment, subscribe, show it to your friends, show it to your pets, show it to your grandmother, especially if she's comatose, because she doesn't know what the YouTube is. You know, it's fun for the whole family, you know, especially when it comes time for me to start making some really, you know, inappropriate humor, because that's something we can all look forward to. More episodes soon to come.